So, if you're here, you want to get into Warhammer 3 or 2 or 1. And now it's the perfect timing. There's the Warhammer Skulls going on. There's always these discounts happening, and discount season happening on Steam, which you should totally take advantage of. But the question remains, what am I going to purchase? Am I going to purchase Warhammer 1, 2, 3, the whole trilogy? It's on a good discount, but the more that you dig in, the more complex it becomes. Like, seriously, it becomes really complex what you're going to purchase, especially because everything that you purchase on the number 1 and 2 titles are reflected in the number 3 titles. So Warhammer 3 will get everything, as you can see here. Warhammer 1 and 2 products are a DLC, technically, of Warhammer 3. How confusing is this? Well, as I was trying to deconfuse it, this meme came to mind. So you can imagine how difficult it is, but let's try to simplify it, okay? So this is Warhammer 1 content. Everything that you purchase for Warhammer 1 will be available to you on Immortal Empires, the massive map from Warhammer 3. And every DLC includes the base unit roster. So note that in black I have the base game, then in red the race DLC packs, and then in blue the Lord DLC packs. And you can now see that there were a lot of race packs in Warhammer 1, so if you want to try just new races, if you already have Warhammer 3 and want to try new races, Warhammer 1 has a ton of those. Then there's these specific situations where if you didn't purchase the base game, you can still obtain some of the lords, because they will appear, like Grombrindle and Thorek Ironbrow, with any DLC that you purchase. So let's say that you purchase the King and the Warlord DLC, you don't have Warhammer 1, you can still obtain Grombrindle and Thorek Ironbrow and Wurzag by purchasing those. Let's move on to Warhammer 2. Of course, feel free to pause at any moment in time when you want to see what content you have. So for Warhammer 2, there's 3 big deals that I would like to state. You have 2 race packs with the Tomb King's Lords and the Vampire Coast Lords, all of them with 4 Lords, which is perfect. You know, it gives you a lot of campaigns to try out. And then the same situation happens here with the High Elf Lords, Dark Elf Lords, where some of them will be available to you just by purchasing a DLC. So sometimes you don't have money to purchase the base game, or you don't want it yet, you're just interested in one faction. Well, you can rest assured that you're still going to get some content from it, and then perhaps it will incentive you to purchase further. That's up to you. And sometimes we just want, you know, a quick $10 to spend for some content. And then we have still yet more DLCs here, more, in this case, more Lord DLC packs. This was really predominant during Warhammer 2, and you can see that the content is increasing actually. So for Warhammer 2, the DLCs are the ones that actually have the most content, I would say, in terms of price and ratio compared to the content that they have, including even some unique heroes over there, which is perfect. It's perfect, especially with the latest DLCs. Then we have the complete impossibility to put here of Warhammer 3. So the base game has a lot of races, a lot of factions, which is great. It gives you a lot of versatility and a lot of playthroughs different from one another. Then you have 2 race packs with the Ogre Kingdoms and the Chaos Dwarf Lords, and then the massive Champions of Chaos DLC. Note to this, what Champions of Chaos has is that it is only for Warriors of Chaos, for playthroughs, because all the lords are for Warriors of Chaos, but every single unit that you see there is available in some way or another for the specific monogod factions, which is perfect. It means that if you really enjoy Nurgle, you're going to get Marauders of Nurgle there. You're going to get the Chosen of Nurgle there. So as you purchase the Champions of Chaos, you'll have those units available for your Kugath Plaguefather playthroughs, which is perfect. It's a very good for your buck DLC. I really recommend it if you like playing Chaos. And in terms of the last 2 DLCs, the Shadows of Change and Thrones of Decay, you can see just how much they actually provide to you. Note on Epidemius here, he's actually a free DLC, so it should have been also on the base game right now. But still, you get a lot of stuff from Shadows of Change and Thrones of Decay, and you can see all the units there and all the lords that you get. And they're very good for your buck, basically, because you have the opportunity to complement like 3 races immediately, and then you can play with those races really easily. So for instance, if you purchase Thrones of Decay in Warhammer 1, there's a lot of stuff just with the Dwarf Lords and the Empire Lords and the Empire units and Dwarf units that you have, and you still have something for Nurgle. So that is perfect for you. So what I typically recommend is what most people recommend, that you obtain the base games first, and then you purchase some race packs, because of course that will be a completely different experience, you know, having an entire race with the whole unit roster, and then you delve into some lord packs for factions that you actually like. This is just so that you don't end up spending, you know, 200 euros right at the start. Now, I do have an overview on each and every single legendary lord in the game that you can play in Immortal Empires, and I'd like to link them below so that you guys can choose better, because seeing the mechanics perhaps will make you feel more interested in the game, in that specific faction, and you'll want to eventually purchase that to play on your own. So I hope this helps, guys. It's a mess to try and put all of this. I'll leave the links down below so that you can have those images for you to assist you in purchasing. And yeah, happy playing. Bye bye.